Anthony here at Bears Den, and this is my Liquid Max reel. So a couple years ago, when Lamson said they were going to come out with an IPX8 certified waterproof reel in their liquid series, I had to jump all over it. So I called my good friend Nick Torres at Lamson, and I said, Nick, if this reel is really all it's cracked up to be, I'm going to buy one. I'm going to put it through its paces. And he sent me a text back saying, I'm not afraid. And that was enough for me. So this is a liquid series reel that has, like I said before, an IPX8 certified waterproof rating. And what that means is that up to a meter, so 3 feet, this can be submerged indefinitely and water is not going to intrude in on the seals. Past 3 feet, it's up to the manufacturer. And but the IPX8 rating is just at 1 meter, it can be submerged and the seals are not going to, give way. So this is Lamson's Cobalt Drag was the first in the fly fishing industry to carry an IPX certification. So it had that going for it. It uses PEEK carbon thrust washers in here. The whole drag assembly is made in the U.S. It was a large arbor design, which is something I really liked. It's light. My shoulder's pretty banged up now, so it's hard for me to cast a heavy rod. So it ticked the box there, and this reel comes in right around $300. So I figured, at the shop, we were going to sell a ton of these. Being, how we all summer long people are fishing for striped bass. A lot of people are getting into fly fishing. They don't want to spend a ton of money, but Lamson has a lifetime warranty, and from what I've seen, they're definitely one of the best, if not the best, in the business as far as warranty goes. Every single Lamson reel we send in for repair has less than a 2-week turnaround time, and that's from when we get the reel. So that's shipping it to Lamson, them receiving it, and sending it back to us is less than 2 weeks every single time, which is unbelievable. I've never seen them deny a warranty case, which is another great thing. They do all that warranty work in-house. So yeah, it had so much going for it. So I took this reel, and for the past 2.5 years, I fished it as hard as I could. I have a boat in Narragansett Bay, and what sparked me to get this reel, I watched the hatch and 2 Abels go over the gunnel into Narragansett Bay, never to be found again. I fish with kids a lot, friends a lot, people who would necessarily take care of their stuff as well as I would, and that just happens when you have a boat. So I figured at this price point, if one goes over the gunnel, it's not going to kill me. So I picked one up. I fished it hard for the last 2.5 years. And one thing I do, I test a lot of equipment at the shop, and I don't take care of any of the stuff I test. And it's because I want to be the worst possible case scenario, for people. If it's waders, I never rinse them off. If it's boots, if it's, they have a boa lock, I don't rinse sand out of it. I just, I did fish it. So this thing got fished. It got sprayed off with the hose back at the marina, and that's it. I actually left this on the boat, rigged up in my rod holder all summer long at the marina. So that's just out there, day and night. Rainstorms, whatever. I never put it away in its case. It just always stayed on the boat out in the marina. So that's another thing I did to it. And this reel's performed flawlessly the whole entire time. So let's take a look at it. Pretty easy to change the spool. You kind of have this little lock in the middle. You just unscrew it. Spool pops right off. And you'll see it's fully sealed. Or you have kind of this is more like a flower shape here, and then you have the reciprocal inside the spool, so it fits. When they lock together, that engages the drag. To get to the inside of this drag, it comes with the tool. I have it loosened up right now. Basically, the tool just allows you to unscrew this top drag housing, and when you open it up, you'll see that huge IPX8 certified O-ring that encases the whole thing. The cobalt drag is all still sealed in there, further sealed in there, so you really can't get at it at all. And they give you this huge, high quality stainless steel one-way bearing. Lamson's one-way bearings are some of the best in the business. We do, even they kind of have this same style one-way bearing going back since they started at Bears Den. And there's guys who have Lamson reels, that fish them hard, that really weren't even designed as saltwater reels back in the day. So, water did get into these bearings, and we can usually just free them up with some blue creeper, and the reels are as good as new and ready to go. So, very, very easy, serviceability with these things. Not much you have to do. If you want to just flip to retrieve, it's really just a matter of taking this one-way bearing out and just flipping it over to the other side, and then you just line it back up and screw it back in, and you're good to go. Yeah, so great drag design. Lamson, I haven't, like I said, I haven't had any water intrusion, and I gave you the backstory on just how well I've taken care of mine. Still on the topic of drag, it has a lot of drag. You can lock this thing down, and they didn't give like a precise drag amount, but it's at the point where you can barely turn it. This reel being such a wide, kind of large arbor with just really two small contact points, you don't have much for such an open style reel. You really don't have much frame flex at all, even at full drag, which is pretty impressive. This is a cast reel, so that means they have a mold for it, and molten metal gets cast instead of from a piece of bar stock. It would get machined. But that being said, even though it's cast, after they cast it, they do machine it just to increase the tolerances, which is another first I haven't really seen in the fly fishing industry before. Someone casting a reel and then machining it afterwards. The reel foot, super low profile. It's built right into the frame, which is nice. So you don't have to worry about it getting loose, and it sits really, really high up, right next to the rod, which is another thing I liked about it. They give you a really big handle, really easy to grip. Haven't had any issues with it at all. No handle wobble whatsoever. Again, this is 2 years heavy fishing with this thing. Haven't had any issues with the handle. The counterbalance, you won't see one, and it's because it's built into the spool. If you look at the design of the spool, you kind of have, you can see over here, there's a little bit more weight built into the spool, which is nice. Just another thing that doesn't have to, that's not going to get loose on you. And this thing spins really true. When you have an albie going off on you and it's running, there's no wobble with it at all. So yeah, this reel has been great. I can wholeheartedly recommend this if your budget is right around $300, even if your budget's more, and you want a second reel, or maybe you don't want to change spools and you just want to buy a couple reels instead to have rigged and ready to go. I can't say anything bad about this reel. Like I said, I texted Nick right away when it came out. I said, I'm going to put this to the test. I'm not going to take care of it, and it better hold up. Like I said, I had a bunch of reels go over the gunnel one summer, so I needed a reel, and this kind of came out right at the same time that happened. So I figured, $300, I'll throw down on it, see how it holds up, and I did, and it's held up great. I have not one issue with this at all. So if you're looking for a great first reel, if you're looking for a backup reel, if you're just looking for a reel and your budget's $300, you can't go wrong with this. This is a super solid, fully sealed, like I said, IPX8 certified, which is unbelievable, waterproof, and they stand behind it with some of the best warranty turnaround time in the business, and that's been consistent for the last 10 years I've been at Bears Den. Always one of the best warranty turnaround times. So wholeheartedly recommend this if you're looking for a reel. Put it on your list to take a look at. We have them in stock at the Bears Den, and you can get them at bearsden.com.